Welcome to Constructive Conversations, the podcast dedicated to raising the standard of excellence in light construction. I'm your host, Colton Lingle. Each episode will explore the people, products, and processes that are shaping the future of this industry. From practical insights to proven best practices, you'll discover how to build better businesses, relationships, and buildings. This is where excellence isn't just expected, it's the baseline. Get ready, because today's constructive conversation starts now. Welcome back to Constructive Conversations. I'm Colton Lingle, and today we are going to talk about how to bring that next level of luxury to your projects. So, first of all, we have already talked previously about bringing that quality and that sanctuary to projects. And this is just going to add on to that previous episode. I don't know when that one was posted, but this one is going to add on to that previous episode and get a little bit more specific about how to bring those little luxuries to your project to make sure that your projects are creating that sanctuary for your clients. So, luxury. Lots of different ways to define it, lots of different things, but for me, it comes down to that factor. Just when you go, oh, this feels great. You could relax. You feel like you have sanctuary. So that's what we've been talking about. Again, that's our word for the year here at Mountain Decks and Exteriors. And so we're talking about it a lot. And sanctuary is where you can go home to feel at home, to relax, to spend time with your friends and family, and to unwind. So we're trying to create that luxury and that sanctuary, and here are some of the ways that we do that. First, we've talked about this in previous episodes, but set the standard and hold to the standard. Guess who sets the standard? You, the leader. The leader sets the standard. I, as the owner, set the standard for my company. Am I perfect in setting the standard? Certainly not. You could ask any of my guys. They will tell you that I'm not perfect. My truck is sometimes a mess. My office is a mess. Other places. So I have to improve and grow in that area. I will readily admit that. Working on getting better at it. But I'm setting the standard. I'm holding to that standard. I'm inspecting what I'm expecting. All those things. It's important to set the standard. Look for the little details. I am not a little detail person by nature. I'm a big picture person by nature. I have become a detailed person because it's what's required, because I've gotten burned too many times for not paying attention to the details. So be a detail-oriented person. Pay attention to the details, even if it's not your thing. Look for them. And if you don't have somebody, or if you have a hard time doing it, look for somebody to hire, or look for somebody that you've already hired on your team and delegate them as the detail person. When you go to the end of a project, make sure you're looking for all of that. But it's not just the end of the project. Make sure you're doing that multiple times throughout the project. Every time I'm on site as the project manager, and now as I'm training a new project manager to take over my responsibilities, every time we're on site, we're looking at all the little details to make sure they're taken care of along the way. And oh, by the way, I've said this before, I'll say it again. You can't just be on site once a week and it'd be okay. You need to be consistently on site. I'm not saying every day, but 2-3 times a week you need to be on site. The project should not be progressing from start to finish and you not seeing it in between. You need to see it. You need to be checking on those details and making sure those details are done right. So set the standard, hold to that standard. That's number one for getting that luxury and that sanctuary. Set the standard, hold to the standard. Number two, something we've worked very hard at doing here at Mountain Decks and Exteriors is making it repeatable. If you're going to do something more than once, let's figure out a way to make it repeatable so we're not reinventing the wheel every single time. We try to make things as close to a factory production line as possible. I know we're working on people's decks, on their siding, whatever, but we're trying to do it as close to a factory production as we can so that we can repeat everything over and over and over again. That helps us take care of those little details. In fact, it removes the opportunity to have a bunch of little details and a bunch of little errors if we're doing it repeatedly over and over again the same way. So I'm always looking for ways to do that. A couple of the ways that we've done it, that we, quite frankly, stole those ideas from other people, borrowed those ideas, whatever you want to say. One of those is we took right out of Dr. Deck's playbook. If you don't follow Dr. Dex, you should. He's an awesome guy. I met him in person, Jason. He's amazing, always been very kind to me, but really a thought leader in building decks. And he uses clamps and spacers on all his decks to make sure everything gets perfectly aligned. That's how we do all of our decks. Now clamps and spacers to get everything perfectly straight, perfectly aligned, because we're trying to get all those details just right so that we can have that luxury feel and create that sanctuary for for our clients. So we're always paying attention to those little details, and we're trying to make things as repeatable as possible. We do use things, I've mentioned this in a previous episode as well. We use things like a track saw to make all our cuts repeatable. So we're not trying to freehand everything off of a chalk line. We're just setting that track right on that chalk line and going to town. We're trying to make it repeatable so that we don't have a lot of room for error. So again, first, set the standard, hold to the standard. Second, make as many things repeatable as possible. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Awesome framers. Again, another guy out of the Washington area. He always says on his videos, if you're going to do it more than twice, make a jig. I highly recommend that. It's worked great for me. So make it things repeatable. Finally, again, don't try to remake the wheel. Use the skills that you already have in your crew, you already have yourself, to your advantage. If somebody doesn't have the skill and isn't ready for it, that's okay. Try to figure out a way to where they have that skill already to do it. For instance, if somebody doesn't have the skill to use a circular saw and cut quick, clean cuts on a circular saw, can we take it to the chop saw and make it, again, going back to making it repeatable? But if they don't have that skill already, let's not force it on them. Should we give them an opportunity to learn and practice? Yes. But there should be plenty of opportunities where it's not as important. Where it is important, make sure that you're using the people that have the skill already on that. Give ample opportunities for learning, yes, at other areas, but don't try and remake the wheel. If somebody doesn't have the skill, don't try and force it on them. Go about it a different way. Do it a way that they understand and know. So that allows us, sorry, I said that like it was I'm going to say something really profound. That allows us to use our strengths to our advantage. If we have newer guys on site, we're gonna try to avoid doing super complicated, complex things and asking them to take the helm on them. If we're gonna do super complicated, complex things, we go to people that already know how to do it. I'm okay with letting somebody stand there and watch over my shoulder for a little bit to let them learn, but I'm not asking them to do it if I know that it's really, really crucial to the project. So I have a crew leader that when it comes down to it, he did that this past week. When it came down to it, we're doing a new skill as a company that he was the best at, that he'd done previously, and he took that. He said, you know what, I'm going to do this. It's a little bit more complicated. I'm not going to ask somebody that doesn't know how to do it to do it. And he took that on his shoulders. So shout out to Daniel. He led, and I'm really excited for him for that and really proud of him for that. He led and said, you know what, this is my responsibility. He didn't try and remake the wheel, have somebody else figure out how to do it. He just did it, and it was done well and done right. That's okay to do sometimes. So 3 things. Set the standard, hold to the standard, inspect what you expect. 2, make it repeatable. And then 3, don't try and reinvent the wheel. Don't try and train everybody right away on all the new things. Make sure that we use the skills that are inside our wheelhouse to get the project done. So those are the 3 things that I would say have helped us move up that notch and provide something that is luxury and create sanctuary for our clients. So that's all I've got here on Constructive Conversations today. Stay humble, stay busy. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us on Constructive Conversations, where we're raising the standard of excellence one episode at a time. If you found today's discussion valuable, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you know a homeowner or contractor who could benefit from these insights, share this podcast with them. Until next time, keep building smarter, keep raising the bar, and keep the conversation constructive.